to Never Drink Alone, where every day is Friday and every hour is happy hour. This is Come Sip With Me, and I'm joined by Dr. Breigh. And today we are going to make a Canapé Rose Espresso Martini. It's your fave that I make for you, and now you're going to make it yourself.
I'm not.
But you'll be fine today, I promise. I give great instruction. Okay, so first you're going to take about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces. Not tequila. This is your jigger. I got you.
I'm like, the best part doing math to me because I'm not.
This is 2 ounces. Do you want 2 ounces?
Yeah.
Okay.
The high amount. Yeah.
So you're gonna pour that in here and fill it all the way up to the top. Perfect. And then pour it into your shaker.
Okay.
I'm gonna put your shaker in front of you so you don't. Yeah. So you don't spill.
Can you like show me all the ways to like make drinks sexy like you do?
Oh. Yes.
I want to learn like the sexy part of it.
You know, I got you. Okay. So yeah, you can separate. Okay. Alright. Hold your jigger in your hand.
Jigger is what it's called.
Jigger. Yeah. Okay. Jigger. So you hold it like this so you can kind of flip back and forth. So next on the smaller side. What's going on?
I'm just saying what I got going on.
Okay, cool. The smaller side. Flip over. Yeah, that side. You're going to pour in your Kahlua. About a half ounce, so half of the jigger. There.
I thought Kahlua was
Coffee liqueur.
light skinned.
You're thinking of Bailey's. Oh. Okay, pour it in.
Okay.
You pour it into the small one?
Yeah.
Sure. Did I not say that? I said pour it into your shaker, but both of them are a shaker. It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. You ain't even tell me which ones was called. What is this? Like
Oh, Boston shaker.
Boston?
No, the whole thing is called a Boston shaker.
Okay.
And so this is kind of like the lid of it where you're going to pour that into it and when you get ready to shake.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to take your espresso. You're going to pour an ounce, so the smaller side. You got to hold your jigger. You want to learn how to make it sexy?
Oh, I can't just put it on the table.
No.
A whole thing. Oh, it's warm.
An ounce.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I promise I'm not dumb, y'all.
No, you're-
I got a whole doctorate. Not in math.
Okay, now I'm going to start mine now. Since I'm making the non-alcoholic version of this.
See how she I've had some of the practice.
Okay, the rose syrup.
Yes.
You're going to pour an ounce of that.
Okay.
Why do you keep looking at nothing's changing?
I'm just saying. I'm looking for confirmation.
I got you. You need to be a friend.
Yes.
You're doing an amazing job.
Good.
I'm basically making a chicken latte. Okay. And pour a little bit of oat up for mine. Just to be able to fill up the glass.
Why do you have to?
You don't need this.
Oh.
Why do I have to measure things?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? For a balanced cocktail.
Okay.
Right? So, could I just be pouring and not counting and stuff like that? Absolutely. But you're not going to get a balanced cocktail. It's going to taste incorrect. So, yeah. So, there is a recipe to it. So, just like you're following the recipe for baking or cooking like that, there's a recipe for cocktail as well.
Nope.
All right. We're going to pour in some ice. I got some ice here.
I mean,
You can go. Okay. Alright, so you're gonna put the bottom one on top of the big one and smack it. Yeah, just pour it in. Okay. And now you're gonna shake. And for your espresso martini, you're gonna have to shake hard so you get that nice foam. Yeah, that's at the top. So you're gonna shake until it gets too cold. So you can hold the rest.
So, oh, on top of there, you're gonna hold it like this. There you go. And pour. Hard and fast. Oh, hard and fast. Okay. That's some advice. I'm gonna reshape mine. Look at that. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. All right, and then
Got the.
you're gonna garnish with 3 espresso beans.
So delicate. Oh! Period. Oh wait, let the people. I wish I could see this. That looks so good. You did so well. Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
And that's your Chemical Rose Espresso Martini.
We did.
Yes.
Oh. Yep, we got it. I feel like this is perfect. I promise that's how mine look when I make them. I promise. So
How is it? Tasty?
So yeah, it's my favorite.
Dr. Breigh, introduce yourself, tell people who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
I feel like it's so hard for me to answer that question. These days, I'm very heady and spiritual right now, but I'm gonna keep it real, down to earth.
No, I think that you should say what it is.
I can't. I ain't going down that rabbit hole. I can't. But
You can't. This is a safe space.
I'll just say
Keep on drinking. I bet you will.
right. Well, I'm a lot of things. Very multifaceted. But mostly, my day to day is being a professor, an entrepreneur, which I'm about to cut that out. That's not for me. Before that, an author.
Yeah.
I'm a sports psychologist as well, and I'm a wife. I'm a dog mom. I'm a daughter. And I feel like healer kind of encompasses all that. Like that's kind of my focus. So in the who I do it for, like I really just want to try to bring healing to my communities, whatever community I'm a part of at that particular time. So I feel like that's dynamic and multifaceted as well.
I love that you decided to join me here for this come and sit with me.
Mm-hmm.
So talk a little bit about, also, Breigh is from Memphis. I'm from Memphis. We didn't meet in Memphis, but we are both Memphis women.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's beautiful and how we connected to it in that likeness. But how did you get into sports psychology? Like, what got you into that?
Yeah. I was a track athlete at Austin Peay State University.
Thank you.
And thought I was going to be a professional athlete, never even considered going to grad school, but I had a career-ending injury towards my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And then that time I was majoring in psychology, and we had an assignment that we had to do where they were like, even if you're not considering going to grad school, if you were to go to grad school, what would you pursue?
Mm-hmm.
And it started me on this path of trying to discover things. So I'm like, well, I'm an athlete. I'm majoring in psychology. I wonder if there's a world here. And it was. Sports psychology was there on the other side. And so applied to some schools, University of Denver being one of those. And I always say Denver chose me because it was not my top choice. I couldn't even fathom moving from Memphis to Denver. But, everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Absolutely. So you're a sports psychologist, and so what exactly is it that you do in that field?
Yeah. Oof. It's a lot.
Everything.
I mean, so it's a lot of different worlds of sports psych, but I'm clinically trained, so I'm a clinical psychologist, which means I got my doctorate in psychology. And so I kind of do more of the mental health kind of clinical work, but then I have my master's in sports psychology, which could be a standalone thing where people at the master's level focus primarily on performance issues. So I always say taking people from good to great optimization. So teaching people how to train their minds to get better. But I kind of live in both of those worlds. So I'm at the optimization point, but I'm also at the deficit point. So I kind of can support athletes, performers, elite people to either go from deficit to back to baseline, back to just general health, or from good to great. So I kind of operate in that spectrum. So right now I'm the sports psychologist for USA Track and Field. So I go on international trips and kind of like, I do. And I'm there as a support. I'm also, working with some clients on mindset stuff while I'm there. And it's just, it's a cool world I get to live in,
Training their brains and they're training their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense.
Yes, which is like people still don't understand the importance of that. Like, you can train your body all you can, but your mind is the thing that's driving you.
Right, the wheelhouse.
Especially when you get to the elite level, like the thing that's separating gold from silver is mindset. It's not physical capability at that point. They're all professionals. They're all elite. So, and then I think too, like the world of sports psych can be so glamorized because it's like, well, we're focusing on making people better performers, but like I'm always just focused on like helping them be better people.
Yeah.
And I feel like, that's something that we're moving toward as a field of understanding that more of like the holistic human being and not just
the
who
whole
you are.
human.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing all this in sports psych and stuff, and then decide, you know what? I'm going to start a business. I love flowers so much that I am going to open a store. So walk me through that journey of being in this field that is totally different from flowers in a sense. But I know you'll bring it all together. And how that came about, like the thought process, the ideation to it coming into fruition.
Yeah. So I was finishing up my doctorate in 2020, and so we know what was going down. Traumatic time for us all. But it was extremely traumatic for me because I was losing a lot of family members to COVID, and I was like, remote teaching and remote seeing clients. Like it was just a lot. And flowers ended up being like a safe haven for me. I would go to the farmers markets and like get fresh flowers or go to local flower shops and just like rearrange them. And it became like a routine because I was really struggling with my mental health. I didn't realize it as such back then, but now I can look back and be like, I was depressed. And flowers like helped me kind of just like get through that and move through that in a very beautiful way. I felt so inspired by flowers. And so, the impulsive me, my husband that summer bought me a floral certification class, and like it just teaches you about not only design principles and stuff, but also how to start a flower business. So as I'm going through the training, I was like, this don't sound that bad. Like, I'm at home, I'm chilling, I just start a cute little side hustle, And that's how B&B was born. And it was very impulsive, but also like I'm glad I had that kind of like fearlessness at that time. Because I could have talked myself out of it. It was just like
to do something new in that time too, when everything else was kind of like crashing down. But
so many of us was doing that. Like you started this with right? So many of us, I think we all gave ourselves permission to just like think outside the box and do something crazy. Like
we might as well.
We might let the world,
we might as well.
Exactly. So
I love that. So how did you come up with the name Black Blossom?
Girl, I remember the day. So I was like, how we do, just like in my notes. Every time I would think of something, I would just like put it in my notes. The first thing that I came up with was Best Buds.
The first one's never good.
Can you imagine this being called Best Buds? And then I sent it to James, and he was like, I'm pretty sure they're going to think you selling some other flower. Was like, okay.
I would have, but I would have bought both.
Best Buds was nice. And then we used to get the coffee brand Black and Bold.
Oh yeah.
And so one day it was just like sitting on the counter, and I was like, I love that name. I love the alliteration of it. And then I was just sitting down, and I was like, Black and Blossom. And then I sent it to James, and he was like, that's it. That's the one.
Okay, good. Shout out to James.
Shout out to James. He's the real husband in the family.
Right. Because I'm like, Best Buds. But I can't talk because my first name was oh God.
What was it, girls? Same. This is the same space, remember?
It was Turn Up for Jesus, I think it was. Shaking something. It was something for Jesus. And my best friend was like, absolutely not. We're not doing this. And so I ended up having a dream, and in the dream, never to come home was
making cocktails in the name of Jesus.
We're all gathered here, and but that's what the first one's never good. So yeah, it was never drink alone because
That's the time.
you know, hey, don't judge me.
I'm not. I'm just like, wow.
I like judgment.
No, I feel like I learned something about you just now. I'm like, wow, I can see you in your church girl face.
Yeah, that ain't it no more.
That ain't it no more.
So yeah, I came out there because again during the pandemic I was furloughed as a bartender, and yeah, we were all sitting at the house. I still wanted a way to make great cocktails and also interact with guests.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, Never Drink Alone was born from that of like I just want to do something with you know.
And what were you doing? Oh, because you were event planning.
So let me walk you through my story. 2019, I left New York. I was originally supposed to leave New York to go live with my parents for like a year and come back to New York. But COVID happened, and so I left corporate world, which I was in the event planning or the event field rather than working for premier fields at the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to bartending school because bartending or cocktails rather are a part of the events, as we know. And so I was like, I'm gonna go to bartending school just so I can have this under my belt for my clients and be like a full service event planning for them. But I really took a liking to like making like cocktails, and so I worked at an Italian Italian restaurant at first, which was how I learned how to make an espresso martini using an espresso machine.
Shout out to that place.
Yeah. And so worked a couple different places, and then was furloughed due to the pandemic, and was like, you know what? I still want to like do something. Everybody in their mom was drinking too, so I was like, if y'all gonna drink at the house, let's learn how to make a good cocktail. And so I did that, and then I would go live with a special guest, usually an entrepreneur, to talk about their passions, like what they do and what they do it for. And from there, yeah, I would get like, hey, do you do like virtual happy hours? I was like, sure. And they were like, do you ship out cocktail kits? I was like, sure. Like, it really like, you know, moved into something else that I wasn't expecting. But I feel like through that, and you probably can attest to this, was like the struggle of turning that passion and just something that I enjoyed into a business, and then it being like, oh, I kind of don't like this no more. And how can I pivot in that way of like, how do I return back to the level of joy that I had for it, and this still be like a business? You know, yeah. As I talk about
I know.
As I talk about that, you have thrived in business with B&B for
what is this?
this is in class.
Wow.
But you have thrived in business with B&B, and I honestly got to see it from the beginning as a client.
Yes.
Because that's how I met. I was brought into Denver to do a wedding and hit you up, and we did the wedding, and then I moved to Denver, and then we just connected in that way.
Yeah.
And so I've been in this space, seen this space, watched this space open, and now we are at the end of Black and Blossom. You know,
Not the end of Black and Blossom.
not the end of Black and Blossom, but the end of this
iteration. Yes.
Absolutely.
Because it'll be forever.
Yeah, forever.
She's gonna evolve into something. We don't know yet.
She'll pivot.
Like we do. I feel like that's the story that you're telling.
Yeah.
And how we embrace those moments, right? Of just like, oh, this is coming up. Sure, let me take advantage of that. But I think what's different now, you didn't ask me this, but I can.
No, yeah.
I feel like what's so different now is that we have clarity about what we actually want instead of just like taking every opportunity to be like, okay, well, sure, you know, I'll do it. Like all those experiences have led us to a point where we can say, this is what I want this to be, and we can have more power over it. And so like it feels on one side of the coin like very empowering to be able to close the chapter or be able to say like, when I started this thing, I was so different. I needed different things. Now I'm here. This thing doesn't make sense anymore, and I still love it. And thank you and gratitude. It's just like such a spectrum of experiences that I'm having of like closing the shop. But like all in all, I feel very just like aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm listening to what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
And I love that. And so we'll talk about class and stuff like that. But you mentioned that you found out entrepreneurship is not for you, and in the culture right now that we're in, where people are really pushing for like having your own and doing your own thing and having your own business and stuff. Like, what can you say to that? Of like, I tried it. This is not for me, and being kind of authentic and real about that too. And it's like, no, I'm gonna stick to what I am doing.
Yeah.
What I think about it.
I don't know. I feel like my experience is so individualized, right? So it's hard for me to say and guide people to be like entrepreneurship or not. I think it's more so like,
Well, you did both.
right. And I'm doing so many different things too.
Yeah.
So I think it's less like if I could focus on this as the sole thing that I was doing, I'm pretty sure I could have the resources at the time and the energy to make it what it is. Like I think I was just spreading myself so thin. With all the things that I was doing. So I think that's more of the lesson of like entrepreneurship is a commitment, right? I think sometimes we look at it as a one-sided thing to be like, well, I don't want to work for nobody, so this is the other option, but we don't realize what goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not like, because we want the success of it, we see the success stories and the glimmery moments from what everyone shares about entrepreneurship, but you don't understand, like it's on you.
Yeah.
In that sense of responsibility, like when you have to think about where your money is coming from constantly, like when you're working for somebody, you don't have to think about that. So it's just like it's less about personalities or people are made for entrepreneurship, and it's more about the willingness.
Mm-hmm.
Educate yourself about what it entails. Know yourself enough to know what you need to do to get to the point of whatever success means to you, and then like work towards that.
Yeah.
Because it takes time and energy and cognitive resources, and you got to make sure you're ready for that. Or not make sure you're ready, but make sure you equip yourself enough to be able to do it.
Yeah. I also think that mindset and mental health plays a huge part in entrepreneurship. When we're talking about like money and pricing and stuff and things of like, am I worthy or deserving, of these things come into play. And so that's been a big thing for me in this entrepreneurial journey that I've worked through with like my business therapist. She was like a regular therapist for like 5 out of the 6 months that I was with her. But she really focused on like me the person, and then like we went into like me the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because me the person and my mindset, like if I'm not who I am right now and still trying to do business, it is definitely failing.
Yeah.
Because all of those things that I'm working through, those traumas and things like that, go into the business.
Yes. And maybe in a job like a 9 to 5, you can cut that off.
Right.
Right? But like you're so enmeshed in who you are as a person. Like those things are connected. Those are the same people. Entrepreneurship, you and personal you. So if personally you don't feel good, you carrying that into your work. You are your work.
Yeah.
Like in that way, that's the unhealthy part of entrepreneurship that I think I'm trying to unlearn. And maybe I'll come back when I do feel more, resourced and in a abundant place. But I'm not in that place now, and what's required of me to be an entrepreneur, I'm just not ready right now in the space that I'm in. But maybe I'll double back. But thinking about like, when you do go through the entrepreneurship journey, just constantly checking in with yourself and like, does this make sense now? Do I have what's needed? And that can change at any given moment depending on your mental health, depending on what's going on in your life. So, yeah.
Depending on what you need to bloom and tend to and all of that. So now we're going to segue into Breigh, the author.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations on this workbook.
Thank you.
I, of course, attended the 8-week program
of us meeting up every Wednesday and going through this workbook, fighting for our lives, to our soil and stuff. So, soil self, be sure to grab her. What an amazing workbook. Like, I feel, and because I know you, even if I didn't, I feel your heart all up and down and through this workbook. Like, you really guided us into, our journey of like growing and blooming and oh god, and just setting the intention of healing and making sure that we know ourselves. That's really what this was. It was like, who are you? And I think that was beautiful. And one of the things that you have written in here that I'm going to read that I thought was so beautiful is, this is time for you to give yourself what you need, to water yourself, to plant seeds, to stand in the sun, to strengthen your roots, to nurture yourself, to discover yourself. This is the time to tend to your garden. This is the time to bloom. You did that! You is a writer. So how did soil self come into fruition?
All these are so deep and nuanced, but girl, Soul to Self was basically 3 years in the making. I was in Mississippi doing my residency, coming out. When you at this point in your academic career, you have to either do a postdoc to get formal hours, which I was like, I don't want to do a postdoc. I want to get a real job, you know. And so I was like applying for all these jobs as I was transitioning out of Mississippi, and I was like in the last round for the Dallas Mavericks for a mental performance consultant.
Oh, wow.
And the day before the first Black Girl Florist Conference, I got my rejection that I didn't make it to the last round. So I was like devastated. I'm like, what am I gonna do? But then the next day I'm going to Atlanta to this Black Girl Florist Conference. And there's this woman there, she's on a panel, Talia. She's talking about how she's starting to incorporate like yoga with flowers and thinking about it more of like a wellness thing. And my mom, you met my mom?
Yes.
She came to the conference with me, and so she goes up to Talia after and was like, you need to meet my daughter. She's a mental health professional. She's a florist, right? And so she connected us, and me and Talia had these conversations, and she was like, have you ever thought about like developing a curriculum? She's like, I know nothing about the mental health world. I'm not a professional. And having somebody like you being able to speak to like a regimented, not even regimented, but like some structured way of thinking about this work could be really cool. So I like started conceptualizing Soul to Self. I was like, I had a little raggedy little Google Doc. We ain't had ChatGPT back then, okay?
Right.
These
Straight
out the dome, you know? So I'm just like conceptualizing it, and she's like, yeah, this could be used in schools. This could be used in prisons. Like, so I'm just thinking about it in that way. And girl, of course, life happened, so I kept putting this on the back burner, you know. But then it'll always be a sign in the universe to come back, and so things just kept coming to fruition, and you know, throughout different evolutions. So bringing on my friend Charles, who we went to high school together, but he did his master's in like curriculum development. So I hired him on. I'm like, look, I'm stuck. I need some help. And so he like took my ideas and like kind of put it in a structured format of like, this is what it could look like in an activity. This is what it could look like in a. So then he started doing that work. Then another pause. Like we worked on this for like a year together, and then I just went radio silent with it. And he was so patient with me. He was just like, whatever you do with it, thank you. You know, you got it. So then, so we got it in like this Canva kind of like loose design kind of, because I'm still like, I want to train people in this modality, but in order to train people, I need a facilitator's guide. So this is what this originally was, a facilitator's guide. And then I started conceptualizing it at one point as a workbook, and that's when the light bulb came. So then I brought my friend Shelby, who did the design and the illustrations and everything, and she like took it from something that was like kind of rough draft and like made it that. And
so beautiful.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful story. Like even saying it out loud, like I have to honor each of those parts of the journey because it's a lesson. Woo! Choking up. It's a lesson for me being reflected back with like asking for help.
Take a sip.
Which is something I did not do in my first journey with Bill and B&B, right? So asking for help, being like, I need you, I need other people, I don't want to do this alone, and how that every time just like picked up the momentum and made it something even bigger than what I could have even imagined.
Yeah.
Y'all was not gonna see me crash out.
I think you're crashing out. I think this is such a beautiful like testament of what this workbook is.
Yeah.
How so people need this. And like I have had other like guided like journals to go through. And I maybe get to a couple chapters and be like, all right, I don't know. Or I don't know. And I think the beautiful part about being in the course, like meeting up for the workshops and stuff, was that not only did we get to hear everyone's story, and I'm all about, you know, connection and stuff and learning from different people. And so that was a beautiful moment too of being like, oh, okay, this is how this person interpreted it. I didn't even think about that. Let me like go back and reflect on that. And it was, I would say, I won't say easier because this was not easy. This was work. This was really like looking at ourselves, all parts of ourselves, and really being like, okay, like what is me? What is someone else? What comes from generational? What is, you know, societal? Like all of that. And so I think being together and working through it made it not easier, but able to chunk by chunk digest it and get through it.
And that's the power of community.
Yeah.
And we got to all experience that together.
Yeah. So what was it like for you to write? Because you wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what was in here, but you were also on that journey with us of going through the different like lessons and working through. And so like, what was that for you to kind of like? I felt like it was a me versus not me versus me, but this is you. This is your book. You wrote this, and now you're experiencing it with us. So how was that like?
Yeah, I'm still trying to process it.
We did just end. We did.
I'm honestly still trying to process it. But yeah, I don't know. Like even the way that you said it, right? It's like you created this thing that you're sharing with other people, but you're also immersing yourself in it. Like one, it validated a lot. Because I didn't know what to expect. You don't know if things translate. Yeah, really. I'm like, I think about this thing this way, and you know, I hope it lands, but people have their own experiences, you know. So it's just so much unknown in that. So I was just like, I'm wondering what this is gonna be like. But then to just like seeing the impact and witnessing it, and like seeing myself change internally as I'm seeing y'all change, it was just like another piece, I feel like, of recognizing my power. Like, wow, I really can heal people, or I really can facilitate that process, and like I can do it in this way. And that just feels like I'm learning so much about what my role is on this earth. I feel like this group and this experience was just like, okay, yeah, you kind of understand what God needs you to be doing now. And what a gift, you know?
Yeah. No, it was so beautiful to see you, because you have a lot of transitions coming up. So it was beautiful to see you week by week going through the same things that we were like dealing with and stuff, and seeing that light just get brighter and brighter, and you feeling more empowered as the time went on. And yeah, I was just so proud of you. I'll thank you.
Same, girl.
Yeah, we, you know, in the depths, we've been in it. But like you mentioned about Black and Blossom and in this space in particular, like being a portal and you being a healer. Like, I could truly attest to that because, you know, last year was a very rough year for me. And every time I stepped into this space, I cried. On cue. It did not matter. And sometimes it was tears of joy, but a lot of the times, it was, you know, sorrow. But I felt so seen by you. I felt, safe enough to be vulnerable and to know that vulnerability is not weakness, and that we can show others that, I'm not okay today. I'm not at my best, and they still hold space for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So as you have all of these transitions, something that you write in the book is describe it in 6 words, I do believe. And so as we wrap up, what are the 6 words that you have for this journey that you're on? Facts. I had to do the same thing. I was like,
You can sound like doing homework. I'm working on it.
yeah, that's okay. That's the only thing I think I did. And that's because I flipped to it and was like, I like this. Yeah, there's so many blank pages.
On the spot.
No, take your time. I'm trying to find it to ask the real question. Yeah, importance of your story, 6-word story.
No, so my story.
Yes.
Or we could say this journey too.
Yeah. Whatever makes sense. Do you want to hear your example?
I keep getting 5 or 7
Words. Just add an and. Or add
know.
or that.
I already have an end. This is crazy. It's the alcohol.
Take another sip. It's fine. Take your time.
What's yours? Or you putting me on the spot?
The one I wrote is, and suddenly it all.
Oh
makes
yeah, I'm
sense.
excited.
I'm still. That's really okay. That's fine. But it is. I think that the journey that I've been on. I started 75 hard. Like, there was a lot of healing and transitioning, or transformation rather, happening throughout this whole time. And I think that quote really describes the story of, like, okay, it all clicks. Yeah. Like, oh, got it. Like, or this isn't mine, and oh, that makes sense. Or, you know, oh, I want to let this go. This makes sense. Like, that's how I felt. So,
Yeah. And that means you're honoring your experience, you know? Like, it all makes sense.
yeah.
You ain't saying, and then some of it did.
No.
All of it.
Yeah.
And I think because we operate in this world where we're so scared to be uncomfortable or so scared to experience something that's painful, that we like run away from those things. And like what you did, like, yes, Soul of Self was here to like hold you and like guide you, and I think that's what it is, right? It's a guide. But you were willing to put in the work and see yourself and experience yourself. Like, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
So I think, you know,
In all versions.
everything.
We went through it.
Mhm.
We went through the inner child, teenager, 2 weeks
Right.
ago, a month ago, a year
Right.
ago.
15 years from now, 20 years.
Yeah, into our future. So, yeah.
In 8 weeks. Yeah. But that willingness, that willingness is what it takes. Because everything don't, like, life is not life. Everything is going to be hard. You're going to go through more transitions. You're going to doubt yourself more. But it's like, what are you doing in those moments to be able to hold you in that? To be able to navigate it in a way where you can grow from it. Because our growth can be stunted, right? Just because you go through something traumatic, don't mean you're going to grow from it. You have to have, like, specific skills and specific resources to be able to grow and learn from it.
Yeah. And that's what we just gave each other in that group, like perspective, community, heart, love, openness, but then also introspection. It was like, keep thinking, keep learning, keep, you know, don't run away.
Yeah,
Like-
it wasn't a coddling experience at all. It was just like, I'm gonna hold your hand as you look in the mirror.
Right, but I can't save you.
But I'm not saying not at all. We was like, yeah, I'm here, girl. But you got it. You gotta do it and let that. Yeah.
We could talk about this, I feel like, for like 30 Should we? I feel like we should like just unpack this together for like 4 hours. That's not
Oh, absolutely. Like I will. The definition of care. That was a huge moment, I think, for everybody. We all were like, this makes sense. Like, wow, okay, this is what care, the definition is. And I think we started doing that more of like defining words. Because like we talked about discipline and what that definition was. We were like, yeah, I like this. So I was like, yeah, devotion. So it was like, okay, that feels better. So defining the words too, I think was so important. Yeah, we can definitely talk about this. What our way to do. I'm not sharing that, but
like, am I? Let me consider this.
because the way we giving it up,
Hey, you gotta look at them actions.
and
Be like,
it ain't
facing yourself.
you know, and in such a real but tender way too. And then you have in the book also like ways of like, I won't say coping, but like the mindful walks or the breathing and stuff like that. Just to remind you like, hey, come back to the present. Like I know you're doing the work. You out there in the garden, you digging, you planted, and it's hot. You sweating, like come back. Come back.
Yeah. One of the people in the self-paced group, she said that she was like, how beautiful that you dragging us. Oh. But then you're like, and I know you're gonna be stressed, so here goes some mindfulness.
Here, just breathe.
But that's literally like the stress recovery cycle. And we talk about this in psychology a lot, especially when it comes to optimizing performance or getting back to baseline. That stress is a necessary thing, right? We're all gonna go through it. We just like cognitively categorize it as stress, this stress or good stress, right? But it's all stress. And so stress is necessary for learning, but you can't necessarily grow and learn if you're under recovered, right?
Yeah.
Or if you have too much stress. So if you don't recover from the stress, then it's just gonna be chronic stress.
Right.
And if you don't allow yourself to stress at all, then you don't grow.
Yeah.
So it's like the stress is necessary. Go through the stress, but then also have some ways to recover from the stress. So lean in, but then just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even want to say a fight, but it's a journey.
Oh, we were fighting for our lives. Don't sugarcoat it.
fight.
We're in the box of race. Yeah, with one hand tied behind my back, blindfolded, fighting fucking Mike Tyson. Like, that's how it felt. I was getting my ass ripped. To be quite honest, in the most beautiful way.
Wow. Yeah. Yes.
And that's what was needed.
That's
yeah.
true.
Damn.
Yeah. Relatable. Yeah. But to be on the other side.
Kind of. Yeah.
On the other
I
side.
think you said that it's like a continued journey. Like this is definitely like one part of a great foundation to start. Like we have now, and to kind of use your words and going into the soil of like sifting through that and like making sure that our foundation and our environment is well for us to be able to grow.
Yeah.
And that also growing is painful, and it's to fight your way through that darkness to make it to
Come
the
up
light.
out that soil.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, that's a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But it's beautifully crafted, beautifully done. You still gotta give your 6-word story, but you know, we ain't forgot.
On the next episode.
Now.
Yes, the work continues, and just like we know, like there are seasons,
So it's like you gotta constantly do this work. You gotta constantly check your soil. You gotta constantly go out there and be like, just like we doing with all little plant babies. Being like, what am I doing? Do you need more water? Do you need more like
Well, Peony is still just soil. She's still soil.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening down there in the darkness for her, but I hope that she's well.
Hey,
I really do. I just need some sign.
Yeah.
Some type of sign. Peony to be like, you are. You good, baby.
you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next for Dr. Breigh?
I got a quest that I'm going on. So we shall see what that entails. Going through just like some cool evolutions happening. I can't share too much because I gotta keep it close to the chest. You know, the ops might be out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna be expanding myself culturally, expanding myself in ways where I'm getting out of grind culture and slowing down and just like being explorative and creative and being present. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for what that's gonna bring and who I'm gonna be through all of it. So I know that sounds very mysterious, but
That's not I get it. I get it. Trust me. But how can people get the workbook?
yeah, so go to soil2self.com and that's the website. You can learn more about Soil to Self and just all the tenets of it, but you can purchase the workbook through there.
Yeah. And you also have a author talk coming up at Stronger Matter.
Yes. What's the date? June 26th?
Yeah, because I think it because it changed.
Yeah, it changed.
Yeah.
Our books didn't come in time, so we're gonna run it back. And yeah, doing that. Then I have a keynote that I'm talking about soil at the Botanic Gardens at their annual conference.
Oh, what is that?
And that's June 5th. And I'm just super excited about that.
Is it
Like,
open to the public?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, y'all. But maybe I'll get it recorded. Yeah, get the book. Get the book. But also join one of these groups. I'm gonna try to do another group endeavor in person before I head on to my quest in September. So maybe look out for a group or look out for a virtual one coming up. But yeah. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for joining me.
This is an experience. Y'all should have me sign a waiver or something. What the hell?
India?
Yeah. Wait first.
Woo! I think
Emotional distress.
it was that. It is fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. The first, come sit with me.
Come sit with her.
Come sit with me.
Yeah.
Let's sit. Let's chat. Yeah. Thank you for just being you and all that you are. I wish you much happiness, success, and peace, joy, love. Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
You deserve. You deserve it. So people were like, I'm like, yes, absolutely. I love your radical honesty. You said that in class one day. I was just like, wow, you definitely give that every time. You're always your authentic self, and I appreciate you for seeing me and being here with me. I love you too.